Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm understanding that the lighting outside is not the best today. It's raining, which makes me think I'm going to be driving on ice all week because it is on the borderline of freezing. So I'm sorry for the lighting. It's the best I can do. Today I'm going to be doing my favorite baby names. I did the baby names I love but will not be using tag, and I wanted to kind of do my list of my favorite baby names right now. I have a list of about 15, half being boys, half being girls, just to kind of get those out there to share. And because we are wanting another child, I'm not sure when that will happen, but we would like to have another baby. So this is my current running baby name favorites list, and if you're interested, just keep watching. So in this video, I'll be doing my favorite boys' names. I do have quite a few, so if I did all of them in the same video, it probably would get a little bit lengthy. So I'm going to do the boy's name in this video, and then the girl's name video will go up later, and if it's already up, I will link it down below. Okay. So the first name on my boys' name list is a favorite of mine, favorite of all time of mine. It could very possibly have been Aniston's name if she had been a boy, and that is the name Charleston. Now, Charleston is a town name in the South. That's the reason why it made my list, because if you watched my baby names I love but would not be using video, you would know that Aniston's name is a town name from Alabama. And I always thought it would be cool to have another child with a town name, just so they kind of had that length. So Charleston made the list early on, and I want to say Charleston is more of a unisex name for me on my list. I probably would use it for a boy, but I do know in the past people have used it for girls. I have a friend whose daughter's name is Charleston, and if you ever saw the show, it was a very short-lived, I want to say one-season show that had Katherine Heigl starring in it. Her name on the show was Charleston. So I do like it for both, but I think that for my husband and I, we probably would use it for a boy. And I do think Charleston and Aniston go very well as a sib set. So it's in my top names for boys. I absolutely love it. The next name is a name that I love so much, and it's on the list because my husband has not vetoed it yet. But I'm really going to push hard. This is like probably one of my top two. If I had to pick top two, this probably would be number one or number two. And it's not everyone's cup of tea, so I understand if you don't like it. But I've loved this name for a very long time, and that is the name Rafferty. The name Rafferty came out because my mom, back when I was a little bit younger, her and my stepdad wanted to have another child, and they really discussed it. They even went through the process of having someone else carry it for them because my mom had already had a hysterectomy and she could not have any more children herself. But if they had had a baby, the name Rafferty was on their list. So I've liked it ever since I was a lot younger. It's been probably 14 years now since they were contemplating having another child. But I love the name Rafferty. I've never met anyone named Rafferty before, and I really like it because you can get the nickname Rafe out of it. And I first heard the name Rafe as Ben Affleck's character in Pearl Harbor, and I just liked it ever since, and I think it's really cool. And I know that it's normally short for Raphael, but because I'm not a huge fan of that name, I really think that I would use Rafferty and call him Rafe. And my husband's not as like obsessed with it as I am, but I just love it so much. It is like one of my, like I said, my absolute favorite names. If I had a boy today, that probably would be his name if my husband would allow it. I think it'll take some coaxing though, because he's not as keen as I am on it, but I really, really, really love it. The next name on our list is the name Huxley. This is my husband's favorite name. Every time we talk about having another child, if we have a boy, he's like, we're gonna call him Huxley. That's his name. He's just so sold on this name. It is a town name in Iowa, and it's been on the list for quite some time. I do know that Micah Stauffer is planning on naming her adopted son this, so it's nice to see that the name is actually being used elsewhere, that it's not super like rare that people would think it was strange. I have gotten the comment that it sounds like a dog's name, which I don't really disagree with that, but that doesn't really make me not want to use it at all because I still really like it. I like the name Huck as a nickname, or Hux. My husband is absolutely sold on this name. He just keeps adamantly saying that that will be our son's name if we have a boy. So I do love it, but I do think I like Rafferty more. Rafferty's my number one, Huxley's his number one, so we'll see, you know, how this plays out if we ever do get a son. And the next name on my boys list is the name Ren. Now most people, not most people, I want to say like half and half would prefer this for a girl, some prefer it for a boy. It obviously is the perfect unisex name, so maybe if we decided we like this name, we could just name either gender this name. The only reason why I prefer it for a boy is because I loved Footloose growing up. So when I first heard the name, and for years watching Footloose, Ren to me was a boy's name. Ren McCormick is Kevin Bacon's character in the original Footloose. And so just because I've always heard this name as being a boy's name, that's why I prefer it just on a boy. But I have met girls named Ren. I think it's gorgeous. I know Ren is a bird, the type of bird, I think. So I do like the name. I like everything about it. It's straight to the point. Everyone probably can spell it. The only reason why I think maybe it would not end up being used is because it is a little bit short, so you can't really shorten it to anything else. If they didn't like it, they're kind of just stuck with the name. But I do really like it, and I think we still will keep it on our list and just see how we feel if we ever do get a son. And the next name on our list is the name Ledger. There's not really a story behind it. I met a little boy named Ledger a few months ago, and it immediately went on the list. I really like the name. I know people may kind of connotate it with Heath Ledger, but that doesn't bother me at all. He was a great actor. I mean, obviously he was one of the best actors, but I really like the name. I like that it's a last name for a first name. That seems to be the trend going along right now, but I really do like it. So it is on our list. Brian, like I said, he's keen on Huxley. That's the name that he wants. So every other name that I mentioned to him is just kind of like in one ear, out the other. But I do really like Ledger. And the next name is the name Dawson. All you Dawson's Creek fans probably have this on your list. I really like the name Dawson. I've never actually met anyone named Dawson. I know that people obviously are named this, but I've never personally met one, but I just think of such a cute child when I see the name Dawson. I just love the name. Everything about it, it just sounds masculine. Again, I'm not sure what I would call him for short, but I just love the name. I met a girl named Dawson recently, Little Baby. I'm not sure if I am too keen on it for a female, but I really like it as a boy's name. I think it's a very strong boy's name, and it definitely is a top one on my list. And the last name is the name Jensen. This made the list because my husband and I are big Supernatural fans. Supernatural is the only show my husband watches most of the time. If we're gonna lay down at night and watch a show, Supernatural is typically what we turn on because there's like a million seasons and we're like halfway through the seasons. We were like really late to the bandwagon. Obviously, Jensen Ackles is one of the brothers in the show. He plays the character of Dean. And I just love the name Jensen. It sounds like a strong name. I don't really know what I call him for short, and I know that's an issue for a lot of these names. And I try not to name my child based on what the nickname would be. But I think when naming a child, you have to look at all angles. But I do really love Jensen. I think maybe you could shorten it to like Jess or something if he did not like it. But this name to me is gorgeous. It's masculine. It just sounds like a badass, kind of like he is in Supernatural, and I just love the name. And my husband actually does like this name. Of course, we all know he sold on the other name, but it is a very top contender on my list. I love it. I think it sounds great with Aniston's name, so I really, really love. That's probably top 2, top 3, I would say. The last name on my list, and this is definitely my top 2, top 3. I think my top 2 would be Rafferty, Jensen, and this name, and I love this name. My husband, I don't know how I would get him to use it. I could try though. I mean, I am just like so keen on this name, and that is the name Fitzgerald. Now, you'll see a trend with these names that I like a lot of last names as first name type deals. Those are just the names that really appeal to me. They may not be your favorite, but these are just the kind of names that I've always liked and I've always been kind of drawn to. But Fitzgerald, I am a big Scandal fan. I love Scandal, the TV show. I was always Team Fitz back when that was kind of like a thing. And I think the name Fitzgerald is just a strong name. It just sounds like, bam, Fitzgerald. It sounds like a very strong, masculine man's name. And on the TV show, the president's name is Fitzgerald Grant. And, well, there was just a new election on the show, and we have no clue who won yet because Scandal took a extremely long hiatus. But I love the name Fitzgerald. I like the nickname Fitz for short. I just absolutely love it. Ever since I watched that show, I was very keen on that name. I absolutely cannot stress how much I love the name. And that might be a downfall because my husband does not like it. It may crush me. Who knows? Who knows if we'll ever even get a son. But it is definitely really high up there. I think it sounds great with our last name. Everything about it I just love so much. So I just cannot even say how much I love the name. It definitely is one of those names that just sounds like this would be my son's name. Well, that's it, guys. That is my list of baby names that are my favorites right now. Again, these may not be your type of names. You may despise all these names or you may love all these names. I think the great thing about baby names is that everyone has different opinions. Otherwise, we'd have kids running around all over with the exact same names. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My girl name, baby name favorite list will be up soon, and if it already is up, I will link it down in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.